Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Thursday night's mini league. One car, 5 tracks. Just as the running order disappears, there's 24 of them out there tonight on our first track, which is the Slovakia ring. We'll talk more about that in a minute. More importantly, the car. You don't see this very often around Slovakia ring. Look at that site there, the Saleen. So before we talk about the track, which I'll and remind us of why we're here, obviously I need to introduce you to our indomitable friend Speed. How you doing, buddy? Oh yeah, I forgot to tell you. Speed has had to go off and drop the kids off, which I've just found out is actually having a number 2. So because he hasn't got kids, so he's obviously having a number 2, which I never knew aliens done number 2s, but there you go. So where are we? Well, we're at the Slovakia ring. Guess where that is? It's in Slovakia. This is track 4. Track 4 of Slovakia ring, southwest Slovakia near Bratislava, near the Hungarian-Austrian border. This is the full circuit, 2.35 miles, 5.9 Ks, 13 corners, 6 left. Let me see if I can get a track map up for you. Hang on. Come on, track map. Ah, there we go. So 13 corners, 6 left, 7 right, 6 course variations in real life. But actually you can have 12 clockwise and anti-clockwise, so obviously 6 each way. 4 parabolicas, and you can see them. Elevated sections, fast sweepers. Quite an interesting track, this. When Speed comes back, he'll talk to us about the car. The car being the Saleen, the V8 GT. I think it's a GT1 actually. Now this particular track, Slovakia ring, it's hosted all different types of series, the GT1s, GT3, so these boys are at home around here. The SRO GT series, blank paint, German ADAC GT series, do a lot of cycling around here, and rallycross. There's a rallycross circuit as well. Nicknamed actually as the Super Sub circuit. Short notice in 2012, it provided a venue for the World Touring Car Championship when Argentina was cancelled due to rising tensions at the track. Slovakia ring was asked, hey, can you help us out? And they jumped in last minute, and as a result of that, they're now known as the Super Sub, and actually went on to provide a venue thereafter. So it does lots of different things around here: track days, national series, historic bikes, off-roading, you name it. So this isn't just a big version of Snetterton. There's nothing against Snetterton, clearly, but it's Slovakia's national track. So all respect to him there. Now, has he come back from dropping the kids off? Let's find out. Are you back? He's not. So 25 people out there tonight, which is absolutely marvellous, isn't it, on these Thursday nights? Really great crack Thursday nights. Short qualifying, 6 minutes, 8-minute race. 25 Saleen V8s out there zipping around the Slovakia ring. It's going to be a hell of a race, I can tell you. The whole point of these races is to open up to the community, come on and race with us, and obviously get the RWB members together. We're not a mandatory club that means you've got to turn up and you've got to show a presence for all of our races and leagues. Not at all. Everybody knows that they can come along on Thursday night, get a seat, have some good racing. I know that there's some good racecraft going on out there. There's no pit stops. There's no pit stops, no tyre changes, no damage. Flag rules are out there, but the races are so short that unlikely they'll come into effect. Races are 8 minutes, qualifying is 6 minutes, and I'm keeping that track map up there on purpose. Just look at that. When was the last time you saw Slovakia ring with 25 Saleens zipping around there? It's going to be a hell of a start, that's for sure. I'm sure they're enjoying that. Now, Speed Maestro, are you back?
Yes, I am, mate.
Look at that. There he's back. He's back from dropping the kids off. So we've got 1.5 minutes left of this track. We always use the first track, don't we, to introduce people. Let's get rid of the track map. And I'm wondering actually whether you can talk to us about this car, or your choice, maybe take us around. What do you want to do?
I'll talk about a bit of the car. obviously, I heard that you said it was a Saleen. Yeah, it's a Saleen S7R. I can't say the word. Basically running under the GT,
Homologated.
the FI, yeah, running under the FIA GT rules, which is kind of in between. Well, just a bit better than the current GTE cars. Slightly more power, a bit less aero, that sort of stuff. They're usually high-end sport cars. You're looking like Saleen, Maserati, them sorts of high sports cars. So yeah, they're really quick. Obviously, the Le Mans spec cars are can get up to 210 mile an hour down the Le Mans straights, and they're just a hoot to drive. But bags of power, not so much aero, but enough aero to get you into trouble. Yeah,
Yeah.
so it's overall a class of vehicle that's really fun to take part in.
Great. Thanks. Really mixed bag out there tonight. We've obviously got the guys from the UK. We've got Audi from Norway. We've got Jens from Germany. We've got Limpan from Sweden. We've got Koz from Ireland. We've got Timo from Germany. We've got a new guest. I think that's Yao. Yao. Shout out to him. We'll see them as they come up. So we've got 50 odd seconds now for them to come on board. I think RWB Pinto is out there as well. He's from Portugal. So really mixed bag tonight from right the way across the world, which is just embodies what we're all about. We're racers without borders. That doesn't matter what colour, race, creed, where you come from in the world or anything else. Come along and race. Now, the racecraft on a Thursday night, sometimes you might see a bit of wheel rubbing, you might see some door scraping, but it's not going to be a public lobby. These guys have come here to race, even though it's for 8 minutes, and enjoy racing amongst the pack. So, red lights are on then. 25 runners for race one. And in first position there is old Luca Gray, old Squid Lips. Squid Flipper, which is absolutely fantastic. Had a fantastic race on the Formula One last Saturday, securing second. So he done absolutely marvellous. Great. Now, let's. We've got some great new camera views, haven't we? As we see Luca Gray there, I'm in cockpit with Luca Gray with Squid Flipper. There's his team name, the Underdogs, as part of the F1 League. Don't forget on Saturday, that's our round 4 that we'll be looking at. He's had a fantastic time so far, hasn't he? Squid Flipper, Speed.
Yeah, obviously a very young lad. He's basically showing what he can do now. He was a bit shaky at the start, when he first joined us, but now he's now settling in a bit, starting to be becoming that cocky little teenager that we all was at one time.
Yeah. Now this guy's 14. He's 14 years old, and the age range out there ranges from 14 to, wait for it, 68. That is a huge range out there, and that just shows the diversity of RWB International. 68 obviously being Charger. So first place, Luca Gray, great. Then we've got, of course, Audi. Audi in second place currently. Audi is our sponsor of these events, and he has done these for years and years. And actually, there's a slight change in format. 2 things, and we'll talk about those later. First of all, ballast, and Speed will talk to you about that. And second of all, on this particular one, this is the first event where actually Speed and I have chosen the car. Oh, wow, sorry Audi, my fault. We've chosen the car, and we've also chosen the tracks as Audi rejoins the race back down in, what's that, 12th, 13th position. So bad luck, Audi. Sorry, old boy. So that means that Rigel is in second place, the Chief Track Master. I don't think much needs to be said, but you can just smell and feel the ooze of smugness around that Infiniti liveried car there. Then we've got Isaacs. Now Isaacs is his son, isn't it? Speed?
Yep, Isaacs is his own flesh and blood, and yeah, obviously doing the same thing his father does on sim races.
Yeah, great family that of sim racers. So in the black and yellow Corona, that's Isaacs, that's Rigel, Chief Trackmaster's son. So Chief Trackmaster wannabe there. Great little rally driver, Isaacs, doing well in our leagues. Then we've got Mark Bean. Mark Bean in the blue and orange. Mark has been one of these guys who has really, refined his continuity, his consistency, and certainly you're likely to see him in the top quadrants nowadays, aren't you?
Yeah, he's a good, solid sim racer. Mark turns up every week. Drives his best, and then obviously has a chat after the races with everyone, and then goes to bed.
Yep.
So he's a good all rounder.
Fastest bus driver in London, right there. Harry Potter, the mad driver, the head that's him, Mr. Bean. Fifth place, we've got Jens, or Jens, forgive me if I've pronounced that wrong. Jens Fielder is from Germany with Zero Force Racing. Welcome to him. Always great to see other members of other communities and groups join us on a Thursday. Martin Peterman, we've seen Martin also from Germany. Martin, again with Zero Force, so clearly he's spreaded the word in the cyan and black Saleen there. I get really good, quite a good racer, Martin. Good to see you back, Martin. Welcome. Rick Binnersley down in 7th in the blue and orange there. Rick, obviously one of our own. I know Rick does a fair few races with RLM and so on, which is great. This is what keeps sim racing alive, is the interoperability between each of the main groups out there, and it's absolutely vital for the survivability, in my view, of sim racing in general. John D, our Norwegian double serial killer. That's a joke. He's not really a serial killer. That's a nice livery. That I like that. But he's our Norwegian brother, along with Audi. Then, of course, we've got Cos, ever the wise old Cos, embodied by an owl. We should call him Owl, really. So there's Cos. He'll always stay on the grey stuff. You're not going to see Cos doing anything silly or daft out there. He'll keep it on the grey stuff and let everyone else fall off, and then secure a nice sort of position. And there's nothing wrong with that strategy at all, is there? Look at that. I mean, he didn't challenge. He let him go.
No, nothing wrong with being the slow, steady racer out there. It's all about enjoying your racing, and Cos really enjoys his racing.
Yeah. 2.5 minutes to go, so I'm going to quickly flick through the rest. There's a lot out there tonight. Jammer, RWB Jammer, it's really great to see Jammer racing more with us now. We're actually going to play one of Jammer's musics, one of his tracks on the way out. So stick around for that, because we realise we've got some great talent in RWB International, and of course those who join us on our races. And why should we not give them the opportunity that we provide at RWB to promote what it is that they love? In this case, Jammer is music, so we look forward to listening to that music later on. It's a really good track, actually. Down to Nigel Wood. Nigel had a fantastic race in the Formula One. This is a guy to look out for, isn't it?
Yeah, super consistent and obviously super talented. Just going through the ranks within racing with RWB. So it'd be good to see him later on in his sim racing, how he's progressed.
Yeah, absolutely. And I can't remember whether Nigel's applied to become a member of RWB or whether he's just still tasting the waters. But what I do know is Nigel embodies exactly that which we aim for on a Thursday night. And of course, our mantra: don't race alone, race RWB. He heard that, and guess what? There he is out there racing and enjoying it, while we're sat in this smelly commentary box, noticing that Charger has not arranged for the cleaner to come in again. Limpan, we haven't seen him for a while. Limpan from Sweden, good to see him out there. He can be a hard charger sometimes, but again, always good to see him out there. Talking of which, Charger is a segue. There he is, the Tugotron, the old man, 68. I say it every week. 9 kids, 18 grandkids, osteoporosis, collapsed spine, most of the time in a chair. Look at him, bless his cotton socks. I do believe he's got a bag attached, so there'll be no running away or anything else. We'll look for great things for Charger tonight. Dave Crew, good to see Dave Crew out there. 40 seconds left, flicking through now. Guest Yao, I'm going to call it Yao. I do apologise if I got that wrong, from Portugal. Welcome to you. Debug, good to see Debug out there. Alex Kruger from Germany with Zero Force. That's 3 of them. That's great. Then, of course, we've got Ben Davis, or Orange. Pinto, extremely talented, very quick. Ricky Richard, otherwise known as RWB Night Flight, good to see him out there. Our very own FX, who won't be joining us on Saturdays on holiday, and Forgotten Company, and Edwin. Edwin, I believe, I believe that's Switzerland, actually. Let me check.
Yes,
It is Switzerland. So Edwin from Switzerland. What a mixed bag out there. I do apologise. Squid Flipper has obviously won that. Well done, Squid. I'm afraid
last
we're
lap.
not going to get quite so excited, Squid.
It's the last lap, mate.
They're on
It's the last lap,
is it
mate. It's
last
the
lap?
last lap.
So we're not going to get quite so excited about you winning one of the mini leagues. Of course, there are points available, and these guys get the points. You don't have to you don't have to turn up and do all 5 races. You can just turn up and do 1 race if you like, or like some of these guys, you can turn up religiously every week and accumulate the points. So if he's going to win this, old Squid Flipper, how many points will he get? Speed?
He will get. Hang on. He will get 20 points for the win.
20
Plus,
points for the win.
Plus a point for pole, and if he got fastest lap, he'll get another point.
Well, fair play, Squid. With RWB, the underdogs, his F1 team name. He's going to win round 1 at Slovakia Ring. He put in a best lap of a 155.2, and the fastest lap being our very own track master, Rigel John Haig, with a 155.013. So, 0.2 of a second, Squid Flipper was off the fastest lap. So, Squid Flipper is one to look out for. 14 years old. It is young men like him. Yes, well done, Squid. Don't worry about flashing your lights at this precise moment in time. That's his trademark. But it's young men like him who get harnessed in groups like this, who are all inclusive, who actually go on to be great racing drivers, whilst we just fade out and die, essentially. They earn an awful lot of money and buy boats in Monaco, and we go on to a pension and buy an old Mini Cooper S and race it once a year around Donington. So there you go. There's the end of the first race. As usual, we've introduced everybody. And now you'll find that throughout the process of the night, we've got another 4 races. People will drop off and drop in. Good grief, what is going on there? That was a huge crash. And people will drop in and drop out throughout the night. Yeah, so that's a nice field, isn't it, Speed?
Yeah, I think that's the second most we've had in a single race in the mini league. I think we did hit 26 the other week in our mini league. I think when we did the DTM cars, I think we got to 26 in total. So that was 25 in the first race. I don't think that's ever unheard of for the mini league. Not obviously I've not seen. I don't think I've seen that many. Turn up for the first race. It normally gets towards the end of the night where people have trickled in over the few races.
Yeah. And I'll tell you what, there's some great shots in there with all them Saleens for some videos and stuff. Yeah, absolutely marvellous. So there you go. There's the running order then. Squid Flipper, Luca Gray, first position. Second position, Rigel John Haig, Chief Track Master. Game of smug, super smugness. And our guest, I think that's Jan Fiedler. Let me check. Forgive me, Jan, if that's wrong. Or Yen Fiedler. I think it's from 04 Series, yeah. And there you can see the running order there. Now, on to race 2. Race 2 is across the way in Sweden. We're going to go to Karlsöga, otherwise known as Gellison, or the Karlsöga Motor Stadion.
This is where we discover that G didn't pick the right track.
Yeah. So as I said earlier on, we've chosen the car and we've chosen the tracks this time, and that's given Audi a bit of a break. He's been doing this for years, and so he's actually, not had to prepare, and he's, been able to enjoy the racing and not worry about the server side of things or the rotation or anything else. So we're doing all that. Shout out to anyone on YouTube, and a shout out to our own Gabsy tonight, who's standing in for FX. FX, as you know, is our tech support, provides us with all the sort of streaming technology and so forth, and the overlays and so forth. And we're using our understudy, Gabsy, who of course for major league events provides us with trackside reporting. And tonight he's actually streaming this for him. So thanks very much to him, which of course enables us to bring it to you. Now, 18 seconds left of practice. We're on race 2 now. So we'll talk about the track after we've gone round. We're going to go round. Speed will take us around, and then when we go around the second time around, I'll then talk to you about the track, and then we'll then move off out of qualifying, pretty much.
Well, this is going to be a complete guesswork for me because I don't actually know the track.
Do you not? Do you not? Right. Well, let's choose somebody to ride with. Let's ride with Isaacs. Let's ride with Isaacs. Okay, so we're in with Isaacs. Let's have a nice view. How's that view? Is that view all right for you?
Yeah, that's perfect, mate. I can see everything.
There you go.
So it looks like you're coming up to a bright hander here. So, obviously taking it steady on the open. It's quite tight hairpin at the looks of it. Yep. And probably a fast right kink is this. Not fast, medium-ish back on yourself. Left. It's a bit like a really big go-kart track by the looks of it. So come down. Yeah.
Well, I think this is the Gallison Short, isn't it?
Grand Prix circuit, it says.
Is it really?
Yeah. not very long.
Familiar to me either. And if it doesn't look familiar to Speed, it doesn't look familiar to me. What does that tell us? Well, that tells us that we can tick the box that says that's one of the intents of a Thursday night, which is to use tracks that aren't used often, not really used for league type events. And this particular track, Gellison, if you turn around to anybody and you mention Gellison, they probably wouldn't know where you're on about, or Carl Soga, they wouldn't know where you're on about. But the fact of the matter is, this is a national circuit in Sweden, quite small, 1.5 miles, 2.5k. Actually 13 corners, 8 right, 5 left, 5 named corners. I will not try to say what those names are. I'm afraid my Swedish is nowhere near as good as it probably should be, which is nothing in that I can't speak it. And they've got one extended parabolic around here, but that's about it. Quite an interesting. It looks fairly undulated, and it looks very entwined in on itself.
Tell you what, it does look very difficult in these cars.
It does. I mean, this is a track that will undoubtedly benefit from a car that's got high downforce. There's lots of corners. There are not a lot of straights, and you need some speed and you need some grip. And this is a G8 GT car. Guess what? It's got plenty of speed, and the grip, more often than not, is provided by those enormous thick tyres rather than actually the aero of the car.
Yeah, it looks a lot undulated. These cars are mainly built, for GP style circuits, and where they're flat, pretty wide, where you can run, to your top speed. Not like these scratching go-kart circuits.
Yeah.
This looks quite, technical, and obviously doing a lot of turning back on yourself. So I don't know if we've got a track map, have we, for this track? No.
I don't think so. Speed, I'm trying, but it's not coming up. So no, we haven't got a trap. That's not our. That's a limitation of Race Room. We're with Race Room and Sim tonight. But yeah, quick shout out to Madley in YouTube chat. How you doing, mate? Knew you weren't out there for taking time. Perhaps you jump in later on for a quick race. Always good to see you out there. Yeah, Speed. You were saying. So this is quite an undulated track, isn't it? Yeah, Christ, people are going off all over the place.
Yeah, obviously you can see the way the cars are bouncing around, how unforgiving the track surface is, and how many bumps and crests and probably blind braking points have got.
Yeah, look at them. I mean, they're all struggling. Of course, there's no setups, default setups. Everyone's the same. No fuel wear, no tyre wear, no damage. You know, this is a simple case of get out there, qualify as best you can. As we see Rick just go down the straight, beautiful shot that. Qualify as quick as you can, and then you've got your 8-minute race. Pretty much, if you're going to come off the grey stuff during the race, then that's your position lost. There just simply isn't enough time of the race to work your way through the field. Although every time I say that, someone proves us wrong. Usually Rodders or somebody else usually proves us wrong and works their way through the field. But that said, in general terms, you've if you come off the grey stuff, you've pretty much lost out on the position that you're in. And the other interesting thing is they're all on hard tyres as well. The standard tyre is a hard tyre.
Yeah, that was just more down to the fact that these are more endurance-based cars, so they will have harder tyres to deal with the long, a long stint type thing.
Yeah. Still got 35 seconds left of qualifying, but look at that. Old Squid Lips, Squid Flipper, Flipper Squid, Squid Licker up there in first place with a 102.752, and the closest to that being RWB Limpan from 102.893. No, sorry, 893 being Martin has just crossed, and Limpan down at 102.984. When you go down to our sort of more well-known members, John Rigel, John Haig, 103.179.213, 103.213. So, this is the thing about these Thursday nights. You haven't got time to get used to the car, and if you don't know the circuit, then that's going to go against you, as well as having to stay on the grey stuff. So, the whole point of the Thursday nights is to, give the opportunity to drive a car that you wouldn't normally drive. You wouldn't normally drive one of these, and you certainly wouldn't want to drive one of these around a circuit you didn't know. But that's what makes Thursday nights a lot of fun.
Yeah, I've just seen that. I think we went up to 25 people. Then I think CSAM had joined at
Good
the dire
grief.
end. So that's 25 drivers around this 1 minute 2 lap. So
Now,
this is going to be a very scary first corner.
yeah, now listen, I'm going to give you a warning order straight away. Prepare for a shit show. It's very likely that, crikey, first corner. 25 of them out there. CSAM's joined. He is right bordering on talking with clicks and whistles with dolphins. He's not far away from an alien. Let's make sure we get a good TV shot here. Jesus H Christ, look at that lot as they're coming down to the first corner, trying to keep. I tell you what, I'll be super impressed if everyone keeps it on the grey stuff, and they have. And fair play. I mean, look at that. What a beautiful sight that is. If this was an exhibition race, you would just say to them, would you not? It's such an
Someone's
impressive
spun
sight.
out.
Just stay on the grey stuff, would you not?
Yeah, that was a great start until I think a couple in the back just obviously spun out. Got a bit too wide, a bit too greedy on the old power. I don't think these cars have traction control. I certainly don't know. I know they don't have ABS, so I saw quite a few locking up earlier on. Yeah, 620 brake horsepower monsters these are, so they're not designed to go out of slow corners easily.
Yeah, riding with Rick Binnersley, looking at the rear of John Rigel, and right behind Rick Binnersley, 0.24 of a second. We can see that guy there, old orange, Ben Davis. This guy driving. I've come on to Rick on purpose, just to show the diversity of these guys out there. The leader is currently, or the guy in second place is 14. You've got you've got Luca Gray out there, old Squid Lips. He's out there, 14 years old. Then you've got this guy, Charger, 68 years old. Then you've got this guy. Let me find him for you. This guy here, orange, is doing this on a controller. How he does, as in a Xbox controller. I mean, how on earth does he go around the corners so smoothly? I don't. His thumbs are on universal joints, and he must drink Valvoline or something to keep his joints that smooth. I wouldn't want to smell him after he's gone into a toilet. I bet it smells of cod liver oil. Needs it.
Yeah, this is quite good. I think we should release 25 people small track lobbies quite often. Seems to spice the things up a bit.
Unbelievable, yeah. Eddie Ellis has just jumped in actually, which is fantastic. Good to see Eddie out there. Eddie's one of our American members, and obviously a time differential there is enormous. You know, minimum of 8 hours, I think it is, and I think there he's in front, isn't he? He's in front by 8 hours. Is he in front? Yeah, he is, isn't he? So he's in,
No,
or no,
I
behind.
think
So
he's behind.
it's like, you know, minimum of 2 o'clock in the afternoon for him. So he should probably be at work actually. Um, this group here is my race director is just red as they're all so close. And why are they so close? Because the track is so entwined in itself with its corners, and there isn't the space for these cars to stretch out, is there?
No, because they are quite long and quite wide cars, and obviously, you get quite a lot of tight corners. It's a job to get them round. Yeah, you can race side by side. As we've seen here between Binnersley and Peterman, is it?
Yeah,
Yes. So you can race side by side in this section of the track, but the middle section it's just that tight, that undulating. That many coming over crests into breaking points. It's near. I'm not going to say impossible, but it's near gone impossible. To do it.
yeah.
As you see the suspension extend there as it went over a crest. As the track dropped away. Um, yeah, this is an absolute awesome race to watch. I'm just struggling for words at the minute.
Yeah, likewise. Yeah, these are not the sorts of cars that you would see going around here. I mean, you know, this is Sweden's oldest circuit. It's highly respected and revered in Sweden. It once upon a time hosted F1 in the 60s. In fact, Jim Clark, Sterling Moss, John Surtees, they've all raced around here. Um, you know, it's had F2 around here, and it does a lot of national Swedish national races. The biggest one of which is known as the Cannonloppet series, which is the Swedish cannon race. And it's to recognise the industrial importance of building cannons in the local area. Sadly, in 1970, not to take it away from the race and on track info, but just while we're watching these guys, 1970, awful tragedy. Actually, 5 people died here, 30 people injured when my favourite car in the world, a Mark 1 Escort and a BMW 2002 Turbo collided along the main straight there towards the first corner, and they literally went airborne straight over the fences, straight into the crowds, and as a result of that, you know, the sort of the heydays of the open track circuit, particularly in Sweden, was then finished. And a lot of safety features came in, which, you know, bottom line is, you know, it's good. You know, you want to see racing. You don't really want to see people die. Fact of the matter is, in the early days of motorsport, people went to watch motorsport to see people get hurt. And whilst we are sickened in that sort of thought process nowadays, that is fact. People watch motor racing to see cars crash. They don't want to see cars crash nowadays. They want to see people go fast and race clean. And if you're a bike fan like Speedmon there, well, you want to see, you know, some clean motorbike racing, which they do around here. And there's nothing better than a couple of bikes side by side, you know, with knee down, going around some of these corners, I'm sure.
I reckon this will be quite fun on a bike, to be honest.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Well, we
Yen
just saw that
Fielder. Sorry, go.
Alex Cruz got disqualified there. Obviously didn't take his slow down penalty and got disqualified. Pinto's dropped towards the back. He's normally a front runner. And obviously Rigel's having a great battle with Jens here.
Great performance by Yen from Zero Force Racing. Again, welcome to in the black and white Saleen. Close behind him, obviously our very own chief track master, Rigel. Now, I'm not sure when Rigel last messed around in the Saleen, but I'm willing to bet he jumped into it tonight, as we just see the Saleen take off there. But I'm willing to bet he jumped in it tonight and had a little smile at what on earth the sort of tracks were in front of him. But I know he will be having a lot of fun there chasing Yen in his own words, you know, it's always good to see the back of someone. It only takes 2 cars to race, but when you are as talented and as quick as John Haig there, and as Rodders, and a lot of evil who I haven't seen out there tonight, Mark Bean, yourself, Speed, you know, and quite a few others, it can get quite lonely in the top sort of quadrant. So it's always nice, as ironically we see Yen Fielder come up to start lapping people now. And that's based, of course, again by the fact this is a short track. I mean, look at that. I wish we had a track map. A short track, lots of corners. Now, 12 seconds left of the race. Great racecraft there, people pulling over, even though there's only 12 seconds left. But of course, will this guy pull over? Come on now, come on. Come on, absolutely right. Yeah, get out the way, whoever that was. You're being lapped. But yeah, you know, good for him. What an amazing sight, the Saleen around the Carl Soga.
Yeah, this is, honestly, we don't know where to look. There's that many cars and that dotted around the track. It's a good job that the game takes count of who's leading and who and gives us it, because I doubt for we would actually know who was leading the race and who would be getting the checker flag.
Yeah. Yeah, we wouldn't. In fact, we'll go an auto director, so at least it follows each person as they go around. But well, I never. The Saleen around the Gellison, the Karlsruhe Motor Stadion in Sweden. Who would have thought it? Very interesting. Can you imagine a much? I mean, that was just after 8 minutes. Can you imagine a much longer race around here, Speed?
I could do something different. I can't imagine doing a longer race around here in these high powered, high performance, basically Le Mans spec cars.
Yeah. Eddie Ellis crossing in 14th, great because he started at the end there. Ricky Richard, RWB Night Flight, is going to take 16th. Keep it on the grey stuff, Ricky. Good to see you out there. Be careful. We got the CSAM and the black and yellow behind you. Super quick, that guy. What a lovely livery, blue and yellow like that. That's Edwin Alejandro from Switzerland. As they all come over. Now, we've done them a favour. We've done them a favour because we knew that by the time they've done these 2 tracks, they would have everybody out there would have been saying to themselves, gee, crikey, holy moly, this is not the right track for this car. That's the whole point. So we've done them a favour for race 3, because race 3, we're going to give them a little bit of space to stretch out the legs of these monsters, because we're going to
But
zip
not
over.
too much.
Not too much, not too
too
much. No, you're right, not too much. And I think if there was a historic version of this particular track, then they would indeed be able to stretch the legs. But so we're going to take them to Belgium now. We're going to take them to Zolder.
Lovely, lovely old soldier.
Lovely old Zolder. Now, if it was old Zolder, the Klein chicane wouldn't exist. And right from the Lucien Bianchi bend, all, all the way up to the Turleman bend would be one long sweeping left-hander, as they're just doing the practice now. So yeah, so Zolder. So there's quite a few places here where they can stretch these cars out, isn't there?
Yeah, plenty of obviously out of the chicane down towards this chicane, you can get pretty quick. Obviously coming down to the previous chicane, down the start finish straight down towards the last corner, down round here, down to the hairpin, you can unleash them. Yeah, so there's plenty of, bit more than the last track.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, there was nothing in the last track. It was all corners, wasn't it? Which is why they were so well bunched together. Great for us to look at. Not really great to race amongst, and actually highly stressful. But there are cars around you. No one wants to bash into everybody. Like I said, bit of door scraping, bit of tyre rubbing, sure, is going to happen around that sort of circuit. But around this circuit, it's much wider, much longer, and actually, we shouldn't see any of that as Dave Crew just decides to park it there. That's it, Dave. Just leave it there.
26 now.
Cool.
26.
26 runners, quite unbelievable. We're going to jump in with, I tell you, we're going to jump in with speed. We're going to jump in with,
The Fiera,
who?
Fiera, Audi, the Norwegian
Audi.
serial killer.
Now, let's jump in with Audi. Okay, can you take us around?
Yeah, so coming around turn 3 and 4 into turn 5, it's just, lift off brake, downshift. Not really a difficult corner on entry exit. You want to be careful not to go into that gravel. Pull slightly over to the right now to get good line into the hairpin. I usually brake at the 100 bob, but I've not really driven these cars as he's got someone go up the inside of him into that chicane. You want to usually be aggressive on the left-hander, and not so much on the right, because it's all about drive out of here. Down through this fast left sweeper. This one's really tricky. You got left, right, left, and you always have to sacrifice in one of them corners. It's just decide which one it is, and obviously Audi just clip the curb. See the arse end of that Marshall there. Gets it spun around, looks to his left, gets back on the track through his fast sweeper. Usually it's just like a little confident lift to get the car in. Over the crest, down towards the hairpin, use your brake at the 100 board, down to the low, the first gear, really tight head corner this, back on the power, through the Yock and Rin curve, is it? Something like that? Down towards the last shape. Down towards the last chicane. Pretty much you brake it just before this billboard across the circuit. Down to probably second gear. Clip, be aggressive on the curb on the left. Not so much on the right. Yet again, you want in the exit speed. Obviously, just diagonally across, the start finish line to give yourself a good run into turn 1. Turn 1's really, really fast, completely blind entry, because obviously the track dips away. You want a late apex, not run out too wide into this. Really, this is another one where you want a late apex and back on the power, and you just slowly feed the car around this right hander, and that was a lap of Zolder.
Awesome, thanks, mate. And we'll stay with Audi now, and we'll just give us a reminder. Most of us know about Zolder, but this particular circuit, GP circuit, 2.5 miles, 4 kilometres, 16 corners, 6 left hand, 10 right hand, 4 chicanes, one of which is an extended chicane, and 12 named places. National circuit holds track days, blank pane, GT, DTM has returned here actually. 24-hour GT Zolder, trucks, FI, historic categories, you name it. So this is the little brother to Belgium's infamous Spa, essentially. Everyone from RWB always laughs when I say the proper name. I don't give a monkey's, I'll say it. Spa-Francorchamps. But that is actually Belgium's main track, of course, very, very well known. Now, we won't say any more of that because it's just going to take up time, but what we will do is, as we just cross this corner, purely because I've got a track map, I wonder if we can put a track map up. Let's have a look. Here we go. So we'll stay with Audi, and okay, so we're coming to this first corner, and this first corner is called Erst. So through Erst corner, and then down towards this double right-hander, the first one being the Sterrenwacht bend, and then into this almost like a double apex into the canal bend, and then a bit of an extension into the Lucien Bianchi. I said it on the last stream when we came here, what a wonderful name that, Lucien Bianchi bend. Then a bit of a back straight here towards the first chicane, the Klein chicane. Now once upon a time the Klein chicane did not exist, and there was a straight, sweeping left all the way up the hill, the Sacrament Schelling hill, down the hill the other side known as the Butte, and then into another chicane, the Villeneuve chicane. Through the double right-hander, sort of two 90 rights, or a 90 right followed by a 45 right, up the hill. This is the I always get it wrong, Turlemen bend. And then down the hill towards the final sort of main bend, which is the Boulderberg bend. It sort of enters into a sort of an extended chicane, which is the Joch and Rindt, and then at the end of this final straight there, we've got another chicane, which is the Jackie X bend, or the Jackie X chicane, and then out of the Jackie X chicane along to the main straight, and there we go, up to the first corner being the Erst. So there you go. That is a map of Zolder. So no matter who you are, RWB or otherwise, never let it be said that you don't know what the track names or the track bends are called. And for anyone who's interested in track information as we are, we don't make any secret here. We're just the same as you. We do our research and we scour the Google, and we scour the YouTube, and we scour the circuit's own websites and gather as much information as we can. But a good resource for you if you're interested in track information is, oh crikey, I've lost the address now. Racingcircuits.info. Fantastic site. Of all the sites that I use, that's my go-to site. Although a couple of circuits on there are slightly out of date, so just be aware of that. Don't always use that as a point of reference. You need to have your wits about you. Circuits change quicker than you can take
Prostitutes
a stick
underwear.
out. Yeah, quicker than a prostitute's underwear. Good grief, yeah. Not unlike me to be searching for a simile. Right, so there we go. Do you want to take stage for this, Speed?
If you want to, mate.
Crack on, mate.
Give you a chance to have a sip of your brew, puff of your fag, and a shout at the missus.
I don't shout at my missus. If you met my missus, you wouldn't shout at her.
Yep, so we've got 30 seconds left on the clock. Obviously, the last few drivers are still getting onto the grid. Another grid of 25, which is outstanding for this. And obviously, we're going to go on. We're going to have a nice view of turn one from. Ooh, what are we going to do? We're going to do on Jans.
Look at that. What a sight. Fantastic sight, that.
Yeah, going down
Not
to
many
turn
clubs
one.
out there who can say that.
Yeah, that was a good start from Jens. Obviously an excellent start from Luke. I managed to get away into third. Where's our track demon of Rigel? He's down in 13th, so not obviously that 90 kilos that he's carrying tonight has finally caught up with him round Zolder. So he's down in 13th.
Now that's a
And
very good
obviously,
point, Speed. Sorry, that's a very good point. We haven't mentioned about the ballast tonight. Obviously, if you follow the streams, you'll know we've implemented a ballast system, particularly for our faster members out there. Now, can you talk to us about that just while we have a look at a few camera views?
yeah, the ballast is obviously weight added to the car, to even it out. Obviously, we all are here to have fun, and obviously, it's to give guys at the back, a good chance to be at the front. So obviously, Rigel's does very well in the mini leagues. He's always in the top 1, 2, so he's got quite a lot tonight. Versus someone like Charger, that's usually down at the back, has got considerably less. So you give him a chance to go forward. It's all calculated off, the previous 4 weeks, and obviously each week they get a new ballast type. So it pays. Obviously, it does help the people that don't show up as much. So, like Luca's been quite fortunate that he's been outside the point system for the last few weeks. So obviously, he's got quite a decent, no ballast. He's only got 20 kilos on tonight versus Rigel that's done pretty much every mini league that there has been, which has got 90 on. But I think if tonight, if Luke ends up winning, he's going to get quite a considerable weight penalty for next week.
Yeah.
And obviously, in the long run, it'll even itself out. But it does tend to favour them. And obviously, had no ballast and ended up winning it. So he's ended up with 50 keep coming. It's like Nigel last week, he came ninth, which is kind of dropped into the bottom side of the top 10. But yeah, in general, it will work itself out. It's just a matter of turning up every week, and then it'll balance your performance out, and you'll get something that will relate to you.
And so some of our slower ones, like Cos, for example, we just see him there. the grass cut. He can't help himself. He's obviously looked at the grass, realised it's a bit too long, and just decided to cut it. He feels better now. I know he does. But so someone like Cos, for example, who's one of our slower but steadier racers, what sort of ballast would he be carrying?
He's got nothing on this week.
Okay, great.
Yeah, Cos has 0. Yeah, there's a whole bunch of them. Obviously, the point system only gets given out for the top 10. So first place gets 10 points, but down to 10th, that gets 1. And with the limitation on being, the in-game limitation is that you can only put 90 kilos on someone. Well, 100 kilos, sorry. You kind of can't get any more points than that. So we would like to give it, set to the top 15 points. But then that'll put us over things, so we might need to work out a new formula. If we keep on getting these sorts of numbers, it's going to be worthwhile penalising the top 15 instead of the top 10.
Yeah, yep.
So obviously it's one of them that it is a current work in progress, and it is going to carry on being a work in progress. So, but we always have we always have the right, say if we see someone, someone that turned up on week 1 and he wouldn't know fast, but turns up for week 2 and is theoretically getting no bells, we will stick a representative 50 kilos on just to make it fair.
Yeah. And I think that's a really good point, is to say, we're opening our door. Come race with us. Come race with us. Whether you race with somebody else or whether you race alone or whatever. Thursdays, come and have these short battles with us. But like Speed said, if you're fast out there, like there are a lot of fast people out there, we've now seen by virtue of stats how fast you are. So next time you come, you will get a ballast. It's as simple as that, and that's fair, because we've got some middle runners out there and we've got some slower runners, and what we want to do on Thursday nights is allow the middle runners to perhaps lead from the front, and actually for the more faster runners actually to practice their own racecraft when it comes to working their way through the field. And actually, we've had the camera on Charger here for a while, and Charger is a good example. Actually, Charger is a middle of the running pack, fairly reliable, fairly consistent. Not very good on long races. Charger, he tends to get a little bit tired. That's down to his age, and of course, after about an hour, he needs to have his bag changed, and that is a prevention. But we're all E&D here. Everyone come and have a bash at it, but sadly real life means that he can do about an hour. But the point is, look, he's in 6th and he's leading a group behind him of Isaacs, Nigel Wood, Rigel, Pinto, Jammer. Notwithstanding Jammer, with no disrespect to him, that's not the sort of position that Charger would normally be in, although that's not to say that he's certainly not or can't be a front runner. But when you average it all out, Charger is a middle runner. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, pretty much. Middle to back. Obviously, it all depends on how many people we get into the race. But yeah, you would say he's a mid-pack runner, like you said.
Yeah. Great, brilliant. Oh, you're right. I am a mid runner. Yeah, but I haven't raced for a while. And I haven't got a bag. I haven't got a bag that needs emptying. So I've got that on him. Don't be offended, people. He'll be fine with that. Good. Let's have a quick rundown. Martin Peterman out there in front there. Just done a 1:27.665. That's fairly quick around here. In fact, that is the not far off the fastest, actually. 1:27.289 is our own very own Mark Bean. So Martin Peterman then, 40 seconds left to go. Bit of a gap behind him there of 4 seconds. We got old Squid Lips. Squid Lips leading behind him with Mark Bean. Mark Bean will bring it to you. He drives a bus, Squid. The bus that you get on, that's the guy that drives it when you get on it to go to school. Quite rightly, let him pass. No, seriously, just had obviously went a bit too wide there. But so Mark Bean there just taking that position away from Squid Lips, from Luco, who's just then retaking it from CSAM. I mean, that's a statement, isn't it, in itself, isn't it?
Yeah, this is quite a good four-way battle for P2. Obviously, you got Jans in the in the background, just waiting to pounce, on one mistake. As you can see, that was an excellent move from C-Sam. Just outbraked himself ever so slightly, but that was an excellent move, trying to, outmuscle him, outbrake him, but just totally outbraked himself.
Great stuff. Now, I'm just trying to find my track info for the next track. Oh, all the dirty washing's out tonight, isn't it?
Race 3. Is it race 3 or race 4? Race 4. It's obviously a good win for Peterman, good second for Beans, and a good third for Luca.
Good grief! I need to sort out my my repository from my library. I think that's something I should be doing from. So I work from home tomorrow. So there we go. So that's the end of the third race. I know them boys would have enjoyed stretching the legs slightly on that sort of medium length circuit. So where are we next? Well, we're going to jump on a couple of Russian Antonovs. We're going to fly. We're going to fly out to Malaysia, to Kuala Lumpur. Well, near Kuala Lumpur actually, Sepang. Now, what do you think of Sepang, Speed?
Sepang's definitely going to suit these cars. Really long straights. Not so, you got a couple of tight corners in there, but nothing too drastic. We're going to really enjoy stretching the legs of these cars down them straights. So it's going to be an awesome track for these.
Awesome. Yeah.
So
absolutely. I concur.
Awesome.
Awesome. Lots of superlatives here tonight on tonight's stream. We don't care. This is RWB, not BBC, Channel 3 or ITV. End of. So there we go. There's the running order there. P1, Martin Peterman, well done. Mark Bean, Mr. Bean in P2. Luca Gray, Squid Flipper, well done, P3. Our guest Jan Fielder in 4. C-Sam in 5. Charger in 6. Well done, Charger. Get someone to empty the bag, son. Isaacs, Rigel's son in P7. Nigel Wood in P8. Rigel in P9. And Jammer in P10. Great. Crikey. I've got a funny feeling there may well be a Saleen League coming. Seems to be quite popular out there, notwithstanding a few people have had a few offs. Ultimately, I mean, look, they're not backwards and coming forwards with it. It's a beautiful looking car as well. In real life, is it a space frame? Is that just a shell on top or what? Do you know?
I think it's actually a car. I think it's just not very, obviously at the time, I think it was quite a popular car, in the States.
Yeah.
And obviously, I don't think it's a space frame. I think it's just a, one of these garage specials.
Yeah. I'm sure if you go on the Google and onto the YouTube, that someone like the Doug DeMuro can talk to you all about the Saleen. I'm willing to bet a pound to a pinch of pup that he's already done it. Yeah, and I'm going to do that after the stream actually, because I don't know enough of the Saleen. Perhaps I should do. So 12 seconds left to practice, and then at the minute we've got 22 runners for this next race at Sepang in Malaysia, near Kuala Lumpur. 23 runners now. Rick Binnersley's just jumped in. And who should we go around with? Let's go around with John D. Shall we go around with John D? Let's jump in the cockpit with John D. And we're just coming towards the end of practice, and then all yours, Speed.
Oh, smash, bang, crash, follow. In that order.
In that order.
I think there's still a few people connecting to the server. Yeah, as we've just seen Luca pop in.
Quick sit rep, guys. I know you're all concerned about Charger. He has had the bag emptied. I say again, the bag has been emptied. So hopefully we'll see Charger back out there. Now running with John D. Over to you, Speed. If we, I don't know whether he's going to try and gain some space, but yeah.
Yeah, I was coming down the pits here. You just on the pit limiter, get to the green light, unleash that pit button, and just go, go, go. Into turn one, it's usually you want to take a slight later apex, maybe around halfway, cut back to the right to give you an open to this really sharp left-hander. Really horrible, finicky little corner, but you're coming out of this, turn 3 is just pretty much flat. Just building the speed, stay to the left, look for your braking point into 90 tight. Probably second gear, I would say, clip the curb on the right. Don't try and run up on that curb. It usually unselects you. This is a lovely bit of, fast sweeping. Fast sweeping left, right. You just got to keep the car steady. Don't go, overshoot it because you'll just go across the grass on that right hander. Be careful on the exit because you will just disqualify your lap. This is a good corner as well. Double right hander. There was a tragic death here in, I can't remember what year it was, when Marco Simoncelli fell off and got hit by another rider. Coming out to that double right hander there into this hairpin. Really tricky, really slow speed corner, really nitty gritty. This one's also a lovely corner. You just come out, run out to the left, hit your braking point. It's quite blind when you're racing for some reason that you're trying to search for that apex on that right hander. This is another excellent fast bit of sweeper. You go through that fast king, chuck it through here, and you're just scrubbing speed off as you're braking for a really late apex, so you can get right onto the power onto this back straight. And you usually just full chuck down this straight. Obviously, I think it's around about 150 because it is quite a slow speed last corner. So you'll be braking, I would say, possibly round about here for it on the proper lap. Obviously, it's quite cambered on the inside to obviously drain the water when it does rain here. And you usually stay away from the apex because you're not getting any grip. And then just down the main straight, and that was a lap of Sepang International.
Awesome. The Kuala Lumpur Straight is what we're going down now, into the Pankor Laut chicane, which is actually a double parabolica. There's first parabolica here, which is inverse on the out leg, and then a bit of an actual hairpin, so it's not really a chicane. It's not even an extended chicane. And then around this fast right-hand sweeper up towards this 90 right, which is known as the Langkawi curve. The Langkawi curve, which is just over 90 degrees. It's about 100 degrees. Then down this hill towards this sweeping left-hander, which is cut 3/4 of the way through and then sweeps back round to the right. And this is known as the Genting curve, as we're just sweeping out there. And if John D keeps it on the grey stuff, there you go, good lad. Down towards this corner here, known as the KLI curve, just call it killed in action curve, KIA curve. And then down towards this, straight towards this left-hand hairpin, known as the Berjaya Tierman corner, which is actually a hairpin. Oh, and into the Armco. But go on, keep going, old boy. Keep going.
Let's have another kiss. Another kiss into the Armco.
Yeah.
Oh. Go on with Nigel. Going down into that hairpin.
Is he just coming into the KIA curve?
No, hairpin. After it. Going after it now.
So he's now coming down towards the right-hander, towards the Kenya Lake corner. Keep it on there, Nige. Keep it on there. Kenya Lake corner. Down towards this little bit of a straight here. Down towards this left-hander, and then the sweeping right towards the back straight, known as the Penang Straight. This back straight here. I keep just using all of the track there. Towards the Penang Straight. Not to be confused with the main straight. This is the back straight essentially, and you can see there that some races, depending on the class, start from this side rather than the other side. The grandstand smack bang in the middle has got views on both sides, and then along the main straight here, obviously the Kuala Lumpur straight. Now, a bit about the track. 60k from Kuala Lumpur in Malaysia, adjacent to the Kuala Lumpur International Airport, but actually it's not really. People say that, but it's about 12k away from the airport. GP circuit this, 3.4 miles, 5.5k, so longer, and it enables these guys to really stretch the legs out on these Saleens a bit more. 9 right, 6 left corners, 15 corners in total, 1 hairpin, 1 offset parabolica, 2 long straights, 9 name locations. It's a technical track this, but with 8 straights ranging from 16 to 20 metres wide, there's plenty of opportunity for overtaking, and undoubtedly we'll see that on here. Now, some breaking news: 25 runners for this race. We will have 25 runners. We started with 25. We're on race 4, and we will have 25. That's outstanding, brilliant. So just while the while it rotates there, we're just going to promote our podcast. Who are these guys from RWB? Well, we're just going through the sort of more senior members at the minute. We've covered Speed, we've covered Charger, we've covered Rodders. Who's next? It'll either be Audi, FX, or Rigel. And once we've gone through those guys, we'll then start picking the bones of the rest of the members. So if you want to know who these guys are, then please come along and watch our podcast, our vidcast. Sorry, Speed, what was that?
So when are you going to interview yourself for your own podcast?
I'm not. Simple as that. I'm just a voice. The cock.
I would love to see you interview yourself. I think that'd be a comical podcast.
Yeah, you know what? I might just set that up. It's a great idea. Right. Okay. Anyway, over to you, Speed. You take us around.
All right, and coming down to turn 1, that was a good start from CSAM.
Oh, someone's on their roof. Someone was on their roof.
Yeah, it looks like someone didn't actually put the pedal to the metal and go, and some people ended up on the roof in the background. That was quite a sloppy start. Saying that we was on one of the shortest tracks and we didn't have chaos like that, it shows that obviously something drastic must have happened at the backs. Maybe someone didn't put the car in gear and just obviously didn't go. But obviously we'll probably find out that when we drag someone in later on with the Joker.
Now we just watched John D there, who just decides to go and kiss the Armco. What a shame.
Yeah, I think he's getting a bit aggressive at the minute now. I think people are starting to, own into these cars now. With them going to a bit more open track, I think the aggression level's gone up ever so slightly. And people are generally going for moves that they probably wouldn't have, earlier on in the night. Well, that's the mini league.
That's what it's about. And by the time you, what I noticed with the mini league, before we started doing live commentary, was that by the time you've got used to the car, if you haven't raced it before, by the time you got used to the car, and by the time you got used to it, it was the race over. Especially if you were going around a track that you didn't know. The race was over and done with, and you were left saying, "Oh, some more." Great sight that. So we're looking at there. We're looking at CSAM there. CSAM in 7th place. Isaac's currently in 6th. We're looking at Isaac's. Ben Davis in 5th. Mark Bean in 4th. 3rd place is Jens. Great job from Jens tonight. 04. Good to see you from 04. Come back. Always welcome. Jammer in 2nd. He'll be mega pleased with that. I know that. And Martin Peterman in 1st. Now we go back to our very own Squid. Our very own whale. Our very own whale bait. There he is. He's currently in 8th position. He had a great first couple of races there. Timo currently in 9th. Rick Binnersley challenging Luca there for 8th place. Good for you. Timo in 10th. Cos, the ever wise Cos, saying, "Go on, fall off the grey stuff. Fall off." There you go. Thank you. And that's what Cos says. Thanks very much. I'll take that. He will just. I mean, he's 10th right now, and he's jumping up and down in his rig right now, saying, "I'm going to finish, in the top 10," because someone will fall off. In fact, I'm going to predict he's going to finish 8th.
Well, can you see right down at the bottom of the page where it says John Haig is in 23rd position? He must have been caught up in that first corner, start line incident.
I think he was. I think he was because there were red cars that hit each other, and one red car went on the roof. I think that's fair to assess that that was indeed this man, Thomas Pinto, and Rigel obviously got caught up in it. Now, if you're on a roof and damage is off, you're out of the race. You can't do anything about it. But clearly he just got whacked into the wall. So the time frame left of 4.5 minutes. He's 23. He's got 90 kilos of ballast. Is that right?
Yep, he's got a small human sat at the side of him.
He's got a small human sat at the side of him, and he's got Eddie Ellis in front of him, who I believe is probably not on any. I don't think.
Nope.
No. And Edwin Alejandro.
Nope.
He hasn't got any either. Ricky Richard probably hasn't got any. FX has probably got 30 or so, has he?
10.
10.
And then Nigel's got 50. John D hasn't got any. Dave Crew hasn't got any.
Debug.
Debug hasn't got any. Audi has got 20. Company's got none. CSAM's got none. Kruger's got none. Cos has got none. Timo has got none. Binnersley has none. Luca's got 20. Isaac's got 40. Jammer's got 50. Beans has got. Beans hasn't got any. And neither's the. Fiddler's got none, and Peterman has 40.
Now, based on previous performance, I would assume that it won't be long before Bean does end up getting old Mr. Bean there. That he does end up getting some form of ballast because in only 2-3 months we've seen him certainly move from regular middle runner to top quadrant sort of performer, and certainly challenging those top sort of runners. So he would probably benefit more from having ballast and using the Thursdays to enhance his racecraft. Bit like training at altitude essentially for athletes. Train hard, fight easy. Oh, whoops, that's the infantry, isn't it? But certainly train hard and compete easy. And Thursdays allow our faster members to essentially train hard.
Yeah, Beans usually doesn't get to race on the many Thursday races with the way he works. Doing the buses, he doesn't usually get back until after it's pretty much finished on some occasions, so he doesn't really affect scoring a lot of the races. So like last week he didn't show. The week before he was 26th. The week before that he was a no-show, and the week before that he was a no-show. So it's like 1 in 4 that you could probably do type thing.
Yeah. Breaking news, everybody. Charger's not in this race, which is a bit of a shame. I think again there's been an issue with the nurse. Perhaps you might be able to talk to him later and find out what happened there. So a quick rundown for you. Martin Peterman in first position there. His last lap 2 minutes and 0.816. Fastest lap out there has been Jan Fielder from Zero Force, currently in second. Fastest lap was a 2 minutes 0.7.
No, Luca, sorry.
Luca?
Done a 2 minute dead. Just done a 2 minute dead on his last lap.
No, it's not
2
showing
minutes
here.
2 minutes 0.085.
2 minutes. Oh yes, yeah, there you go. 2 minutes 0.085. So marvellous squid flipper flying the RWB banner, the colours out there as he slides around that corner. Looking for great things from him. He's just young and exuberant and makes silly mistakes and compromises his continuity. Continuity comes with practice and experience, and when you're as young as Squid Flipper, then obviously that's, you know, it's not your fault. That's something that something you haven't got. But this is where people like Squid Flipper become aliens. It's simple as that. So I keep saying it. Look out for him. Remember that name. You can't not, can you? Squid Flipper, Squid Lips, Squid Licker, Licker Squid. Think of anything you like. Whale meat. He does well.
Whale. I don't know. You got me. You got me like Squid Licker did the other week.
No, sorry. Great race. Okay, so let's remind ourselves: 1 car, 5 tracks, 6-minute qualifying, 8-minute races. The whole point is to get out there, race a car that you don't race normally around tracks you wouldn't put with that particular car. Enjoy racing with RWB members. Practice your racecraft. You know, embroil in the fact that if you're fast, you've got ballast, and therefore you're going to have to fight that bit harder. You know, no pit stops, no tyre change, no fuel wear, no tyre wear, and unless you turn the car upside down, you'll be able to have a little bit of a hit on the arm coat and still be able to carry on. As we watch Edwin Alejandro go off onto the gravel, who lives in Switzerland. Why can't I live in Switzerland? Speed.
I think you can if you wanted to.
I live in Nottingham. Why can't I live
Pack
in
your bags and
Switzerland?
go.
Can't, mate. I've got children and everything. Anyway, so there we go. That was the bang. Now we're on to our last race now. Now lots of things can happen in this last race. Number one, Speed's going to talk to us about jokers and points. We're then going to pull a number out, which will be a random number for the person that we speak to when we pull them into the chat channel afterwards. Bombard them, jump on their heads, and then basically put them on the spot and interview them at the end of the race. And then, of course, at the end of the race, we're then going to, at the end of the stream, we're then going to listen to some music from the wonderfully talented RWB Jammer and his buddies from across the water in America with the group The Accents, which is a great number, and you know, I look forward to that. So, transition should be coming soon. Where are we on the last race, Speed?
Track in the UK.
Yep.
That's a very well-known F1 circuit.
Yep.
Runs MotoGP this year.
Castle Donington, Mallory
No, not
Park,
G. No,
Cadwell, Brands Hatch,
no, no,
Snetterton.
no.
Well, there
The
is
only
no
one that
else,
you've
is
not
there?
said, it's in the Midlands area.
It's got to be Silverstone then.
Yep,
Of
bingo.
course it is, Silverstone. You know, the jewel in the crown of British motor racing. Now, a bit of trivia for you. Where is the home of British motor racing, Speed? Where is the hometown of British motor racing?
Somewhere.
I'll tell you now, it's on the south coast. It's a little town called Bexhill. Bexhill-on-Sea run the first motor racing event in 1903, and it was a hill climb along um, Galley Hill. I think it's called Galley Hill. Let me live ask my wife. Wifey, what's the hill at Bexhill? Is it Galley Hill? Yes, she says it's Galley Hill. So there you go, a bit of a trivia for you.
We've still got 20 odd seconds for this race to count down. For some reason, it doesn't want to transition itself.
No,
So
no, it doesn't, does it?
it's on the last 10, 15 seconds now, so we can waffle on for a bit.
Okay. Well, there you go. Bexhill-on-Sea. Shout out to Bexhill-on-Sea, South Coast, the home of British motor racing. That's where it first started. That's where it started, pretty much for you know, the rest of the UK and what then leaned into Europe essentially when it come to motor racing. So Silverstone, then that's our final race. Central England, county of Northamptonshire. It is the jewel in the British racing crown, the British racing scene. And I do believe we're actually going to be doing the full circuit. I think we're doing the full circuit, aren't we?
The full GP. If we locked up.
Now have we got a problem with the server? Do you think?
it's transition now. I was watching the timer and obviously the server log, and it transferred to the the next track and the next practice session, but we hadn't transitioned at that point, so
Ah,
it
I
just
see.
maybe took a while for it.
Alright, so here we are at Silverstone. Now, Silverstone, 3.6 miles, 5.8k, crikey. You don't need me to waffle on about Silverstone. If you don't know Silverstone or don't know the track corners or anything else, well, my advice is fire up, a million and one different points of information out there for Silverstone. And if you're British, you should be ashamed of yourself if you don't know this track. Simple as that. What have we got? 30 odd seconds to go. I'll talk to you a little bit about the history and stuff when we go around with speed. But this will finish off the race in 2.9. Remember, look at that. We've got 23 runners at the minute. Likely will be nice to finish on 25, wouldn't it? 23
It
runners
would
at the
be
minute. Yeah,
would be nice to finish on 25. Anyway, 23 is a good number for the mini league. It is the middle of towards the end of the week, so it is still a good midweek number.
for sure. Cool. Right, let's ride with someone. Let's ride with Jammer. Let's ride with Jammer. We'll wait for Jammer to come out, and then perhaps you could take us around, Speed.
Ooh, do we have to?
Yeah.
Okay. So you're coming out of the pits. I don't actually know the names of these corners.
How about if I insert that for you?
I don't know the corner names in these, but you basically just clip that curb on the right, run mid-track, and obviously get this really tight hairpin. Important to get a good run onto the back straight. That's
Wellington.
pretty much I know you're onto the Wellington straight. Into
Brooklyn.
I'm going to say Brooklyn's into Lovefield. Is it Lovefield?
Yep, that's right. Brooklyn.
And then into Woodcote. Yeah, this is
right.
Brooklyn's. It's usually you want an apex late here into Westfield? Lovefield, I mean.
Woodcote.
Woodcote.
Yep.
This isn't Woodcote. I thought Woodcote was this bit here.
Yeah, this is Woodcote.
This bit, this corner here. This
that
right
first pillar.
Yeah. Woodcote into Cox. It's usually, they all start very straight, so everyone should have done that if it'd been a sim racing at any time. It's just, on the brakes, a little downshift into this Maggie's Beckett's Chapel section. It's just really fast. Usually you forget about the first part. This part usually just scrubbing speed off ever so much. And all importantly, get a good run onto the hanger straight and think about into snow. So you just slightly over to the left. Usually want to, apex 3/4 of the way around. So you stay out wide, and then that was a perfect example of apexing late. Now into is it the Valen Club chicane?
It is, yeah.
Yeah. Remembering names. It's just simple. Get as close as the Sausage Man on the left, clip this curb on the right, and just all about trying to get a good drive, trying to get the traction down through this last corner and onto the start and finish, and then through this corner.
Abbey.
Through into Abbey, and that was a lap
Farm curve.
Yeah, a lap of Silverstone.
There you go. It was good to see old Jammer back there. We saw him slow down. That's just to create some distance between him and the cars in front there, so that he doesn't end up coming across, a slow runner or encroaching. Because obviously he wants to get a fast time. The whole point of these races, with having short qualifying times, is you better qualify well. We've got 2.5 minutes left, 2 minutes 50 odd seconds. You're gonna have an out lap. You're gonna have a pretty much maybe one go at a fast lap. You might be lucky and get a second lap for some tracks, but race room will just count down to 0 and that'll be it. Which is a little bit You know, is my only pet hate of race room is the sort of right, stop. You know, the clock stop. That's it. That's your lot. You know, it doesn't work like that. 24 runners. Look at that in 22nd position. Charger is back out there. Good to see him back out there riding with Charger. I know he's got fresh bag, and he's had his sores. He's had his because he's I don't know if he told you earlier, but he's got some terrible sores from sitting down. He's got a Vasaro rig, and he's got all the kit, all the gear, and all the ideas. Is that how it's said? All the gear and what?
No idea.
No, that's not him. Bless his heart. He's a lovely guy. If you haven't, you know, Charger is you know, one of the founders of RWB, and it's to his credit that RWB is as popular as it is now, as well as, of course, the sort of leading committee of speed. Oh, as we just see Charger go up the bum of what I think was Pinto. I think that was Pinto, wasn't it?
Yeah, and Charger's not ashamed of going up people's bums.
He went straight up there, didn't he? He didn't even ask whether he could enter. He just popped himself in there. Yeah.
Yeah, no lube, nothing, just straight in there, dry as can
Dry.
be.
Now this is a family show. Speed, behave. Well, that's
Oh,
well,
that's Charger's qualifying over. That's
that's
everyone's
qualifying
qualifying pretty
over.
much.
He'll have a fag now. He'll go for a quick bag empty before he gets back out there. Now, so this is the last race. Last race of the night. During the race, we'll flick through the cameras and we'll give you some talk of what's going on. But Speed's got a job to do, and that is to pull out some points and so forth, and some numbers and some jokers, and yeah, good.
I've pretty much done it all tonight already. I just need to get the last results file from this race, put
I
it
see
into the
Sam.
system.
Right. I see Sam got ballast speed.
No,
Now,
not been
see Sam,
around for a while,
ladies
has
and
it?
gents, he definitely needs ballast because he is it's in his genes. He sleeps. Most people sleep cuddling a teddy or their partner. He sleeps with a Michelin tyre. That's what he sleeps with. Beautiful sight there. As they're just getting on the track now. 43 seconds to go. "24 runners then. Looking at, who are we looking at? I'll tell you who we're looking at. We're looking at C-Sam in first position. We'll try and get it middle ground. There we go. We're looking at Debug now. Okay, so they're away, and they're coming up to the first corner, Abbey corner, as we see C-Sam go straight round into first position into Abbey corner. Second place, FX, who qualified really well. There he goes in the black and white, Saleen on the inside there, towards the loop. Just coming around the loop now and into what is essentially Aintree. FX goes a little bit wide, loses that position, probably two positions. No, just one. Into Aintree, down the Wellington Straight. Name so. Oh, there was a bit of a lag there, I think. But name so because of the hangars down here that used to hold the Wellington bombers. Used to be known as the Hangar Straight, actually. No, that's the other side, isn't it? Yeah, so good for FX there in third. Audi in fourth. Let's drive with Audi. Audi's got a good view there. Behind Audi, we've got Orange. Great sight that. Look at that lot speed.
Yeah, 20 to 23 Saleens, roaring down to the old turn one, of course. I don't think you can get better than that.
I don't think so. No, it's not the sort of car that you just wouldn't see a Saleen around Silverstone. It's not going to happen. It's an American car. It's an American home national sort of event series. It's not, as far as I know. Oh no, actually that's probably wrong. It's GT.
It was part of the FIA GT series, so it probably raced around I wonder if Silverstone was on the calendar back in the old, early 2000s WEC series. I don't know. I'm a bit
Well, I
too young
don't
to remember
know.
that.
I don't know. And as a professional head of delivery, coach, tutor, I don't know, so I'm going to find out, and next week I'll come back to you and I'll let you know. Oi, I think that was Rigel. Let's just check that. Audi involved in that, and I think that was orange. In the blue and orange. Hard luck, old boy. Doing so well, but fair play. He stays off the racing line. Back to the leaders there. I don't know, Speed, so I'm going to find out, actually. I'm going to find out, and next week I'll report back on the Saleen and whether that has raced around Silverstone.
Yeah, I know if the GT1s, the WEC series, the World Endurance Championship, came to Silverstone, it would have probably raced around Silverstone. So obviously, but it's whether the actual series came to the circuit, as we see Fiddler getting out of shape, going out to Luffield.
Fiddler being challenged. Fiddler, yeah, that's his name, Fiddler. The Fiddler being challenged by FX. FX, who will be jumping for joy at the fact that he's in third position. I like FX. He's a really, really great guy. Does a lot for the club, an awful lot for the club. But I sort of fell out of love with him today, to be honest with you. When I found out he drives an Aston Martin. He drives an Aston Martin.
You can't hold that against him.
I
Like
can't.
we don't hold against you that you're a cock, do we?
No, you
You see,
don't.
driving
You
Audi.
don't. You don't. But yeah, he's doing a great race. Second place, third place, FX. You keep going, FX. This is the last race, so we're going to go through the field. Fourth place, Martin Peterman from Zero Force. Good to see you there. Be careful, because right behind you is that man, the chief track master in the red and white and thinny liveried Saleen. Just to put it into context, the last lap. So this is the first sort of lap on the fast timings, just done by CSAM on a 1:57.6, and the closest to it is a 1:58. Let's have a look. Look, he's pretty much, ta-da! Look on the wing. Look, he's got plenty of space there. So Rigel in fourth place. In fifth place, Squid Flipper, trying to chase Rigel. Nigel Wood, really good to see Nigel out there for the second week on the bounce, and I think he joined us on the F1 League on the Saturday. Good to see you out there, Nigel. Don't be a stranger. If you want to carry on racing on your own and jump in with us every now and then, you're very welcome to. And if you want a bit more of a home, then, well, grab some balls and step forward and ask. Sean Wright in 8th. Good to see Sean back. Sean from Canada. 9th, Debug. And 10th, Jammer, who we're going to hear from with some music to play us out tonight. Do you want to go through the rest of the field, Speed?
So we got Audi, the Fiera, and his mini league in 11th. You got Mr. Bean, Mark Bean in 12th. The Rick of Binnersley, Mr. Rick Binnersley in 13th. You got Mr. Tangerine, Mr. Orange, Mr. Ben Davis in 14th. You got Timo, the Pterodactyl in 15th. You got the American Eddie in 16th. You got the Smugged One's son, Isaac, in 17th.
Mini Smug.
Mini Smug. And then you've also got the serial killer, John D, in 18th. Obviously, him and Audi go regularly on Norwegian hunting trips.
Hunting trips in the woods.
And you've also got the Trugaton 9000 and the oldest member, Charger. You got the crew of Dave in 20th as well. And you got someone that's forgotten company in 22, 21. Keeps on jumping around from it. And then in 22, you've got Cos, a lonely Cos in Ireland on his bar stool, racing away. And then you got the Switzerland bloke doing some donuts in the back.
Great. 23 runners. There you go. Back up with the front. Back up with the front then. Okay, so 1 minute, 1 minute left of the race, or 1 minute 15 left of the race. Great to see FX up there. I know he'll be really, really pleased. Where are we with the Joker and the random number for tonight, Speed?
Yeah, the random number that got pulled out is 14. So once the result's done, and I'll pull down the 14th person that finished overall, then we'll have a quick word with him.
Shout out to Rodders, our general manager, our general leader, our head honcho, who's, I believe, he's on holiday, isn't he?
No, he's working in Mexico this week on an oil rig.
Working in Mexico on an oil rig. So he'll be back. I think he's back for this Saturday, or is he dropping it?
No, he's back Thursday next week.
Okay, so it'd be good to see him back out there. So 12 seconds to go. So we'll put it on the leader.
Yeah, one more lap. One more lap. He's just stuck it across the line. Obviously going through turn one, the clock's 6-0, so it's just a nice, easy victory lap. See Sam hits his braking points. Obviously, he's got Jans closing down quite quickly behind him. Obviously, he should be covered. It's a 1.8 second lead, and he was only a tenth slower on that last lap, so it should be an easy win for CSAM. I'm going to throw something out there. Who do you think's won tonight's mini league? Before
I
I
would
do the
say it'd be
results.
Squid Flipper. That's who I think. Flipper of squid, whale meat, squid lips, liquor of squids,
I
squid.
I think it's going to be Jans. I think Jans has finished quite consistent, over tonight. So I'm going to go with Jans.
Very interesting. Back onto Auto Director, which will automatically see each person over the line in order. So we're watching CSAM now, finishing his last lap. So there we go. That pretty much concludes, or not concludes, but certainly brings to an initial close our Thursday racing. Remember, these guys out there are, whether they're RWB members or whether they're visiting guests from other clubs or whatever, they're out there racing clean, racing fair, then racing for position, respecting each other, and having some fun. And that's what it's all about. If you want to come along and experience your hand racing amongst the pack, as Charger likes to call it, which is what he really gets a buzz out of, which I think is a wonderful way to describe what sim racing does.
Orange vibrator.
Then come along and race with us. Providing you can race clean, race fair, race for position, respect other people, and enjoy yourself, then you're welcome. If you want to come and be an arse and just drive into people for the sake of it, then by all means come along, but you'll never ever come along again, because that just ruins it for everybody.
Yeah,
Great.
that's the quickest way to find yourself onto the ban list for all RWB servers.
Yeah, that's right. This is not a public server. This is a server that caters for everybody, no matter where you are. No borders with us. We just ask that you race clean, race fair, race for position, respect everyone out there, and flick a switch, a mindset. If that was you racing in real life and you were in that car, would you want to be smashing it into other people? Of course you wouldn't, because I tell you what, your chief engineer will take you around the back of the garage and beat you half to death with a size 13 spanner. That's all he'll need. So that's what these guys do out there. So brilliant. Well done to them. So CSAM in first place, Jan Fielder in second from Zero Force, Martin Peterman from Zero Force again in third place. I'm going to concur with your thought earlier on, because Jans has had or Yen, forgive me if I've said that wrong. He has had some great racing tonight. FX in fourth position, I know, will be slightly disappointed that he gave up third, but ultimately I know he'll still be pleased with fourth. Rigel with fifth, Nigel Wood sixth, Sean Wright seventh, Luca Gray, Squid Flipper in eighth, Jammer in ninth, Isaacs Mini Smug in 10th, Orange, Ben Davis, Blue, Owl, Audi in 11th, Timo in 12th, and you saw the rest of the rundown there. Fantastic. Right. So where are we, Speed?
Just waiting for the server to give me the relevant file, and then I can do the deed, which it has done. Just downloading it now.
Great. Well, while
So,
Speed's getting that together, remember we was at Slovakia Ring, then Kalsoga, then Zolder, then Sepang, and we finished off at Silverstone. Speed, over to you with the score.
yep, still just obviously inputting the data. So one, that, and that. Hit the button. Go across to the points. So the person we're going to speak to tonight is John D.
Awesome.
He was the lucky person that finished 14th, and the top 5 people, or do you want me to do the top 10?
Do the top 10. They'll all be watching it.
So the top 10 is 10th place is Nigel Wood with 32. In 9th is Rick Binnersley with 35. In 8th is Audi with 39. In 7th is CSAM with 43, tied with Beans, who is also on 43. So in 5th place is Rigel, tied with his young boy for 4th on 57 points. Luca Gray gets 3rd with 64. Jens gets 2nd with 83. And the winner tonight is Mr. Martin Peterman with 86.
Awesome. That is awesome. So just tell me the top 3 again. Martin Peter.
Martin Peterman on 86, sorry. Jens Fiddler on 83 and Luca Gray on 64.
Wow.
With Isaac and Rigel tied with 57 for 4th. And then a tie for 6th with Mark Bean and CSAM tied on 43 points.
Awesome. Well, well done to Zero Force. Very many congratulations to Zero Force with those positions. Remember, that you weren't running any ballast out there, and our faster lads were running ballast. That said, of course, we extend the hand of sim racing community friendship, but it was great to see you out there and great to see you racing. I think you might have some ballast next time round, but it will be in parity with your positions throughout the races that you've had with us. Please do come back. It's always great to have some racers out there that challenge our faster members, and they will all be the first ones to congratulate you on that. So very many congratulations to the top 3. Now, the person that we speak to, our random number we pulled out is John D. Welcome, John D. You are a random person we're going to speak to tonight, as if you've just come out of the toilet and been awarded £1 million for being the millionth person to use it. So how was the racing for you out there tonight? We watched you a couple of times.
Oh, the first race was quite good. I managed to pass quite a lot of cars. It was the Autodrome track, or the and it was. I mean, we done a few endurance races on it, and it's a track I like, so I did quite well. But after that, it was a bit so. It was a lot of accidents. It was quite tight racing, Thank you for picking Yellerosen on these cars. It was a bit of a nightmare, but still good fun. And yeah. There was a bit of tight racing. You have to give away. Sometimes avoid accidents, not run them in, and sometimes you do, sometimes you don't. And you hit somebody, you get hit, but all good fun. Take it as it is,
Yeah, and there was one of the races, I can't remember now where it was. Speed will remind me. I think it was Silverstone where we rode with John for the qualifying. Sepang. It was Sepang, wasn't it? Yeah, Sepang. And we noticed obviously you slowed down on the outlap there towards the towards the end of the back straight to try and gain some space between you and the others there to give you a sort of fast opportunity for a fast lap. And that's the question being that on the Thursday nights with the short qualifying and the sort of as short races, 6-minute qualifying, 8-minute races, I suppose you really are, when it comes to the qualifying, you really are trying to make sure that you get a good lap in there so that you're positioned well for that very short race.
Well, it's not just about getting a good lap. It is about getting a lap because the qualifying is so short, the track is so long, you only have one go at it. Because if you go off, there is not a time enough to get around twice more. You got to finish the lap you're on, and then you got to get a new timed lap. And the Discord and the communication was quite busy as well. Telling people saying that I'm going to back off to get space. I'm going to back off to get space. So everybody got one go at it, so you might as well just it was like a bit of a queue on that stretch there. Everybody was waiting for to get space and get the lap going, and then 3 turns down I was outside the limit, and that was it.
Yeah, awesome. Well, look, we saw you racing a couple of times out there, and it was great. I'm sure you'll enjoy watching the stream back throughout the week or towards the end of next week, or even some people even watch it straight away after the stream. But you done well out there. You had some good racing, and we enjoyed watching you, didn't we, Speed?
Yeah, that was obviously it was enjoyable watching everyone tonight. I have to say that I chose the car well, and you chose the track well. So,
Yeah.
give yourself some big ups there. I don't think
Yeah.
anyone else liked us, but we enjoyed watching it, which is the main thing.
I think we're going to get beaten half senseless in the virtual world, in the ether that we're all in after this Thursday night. But some tracks lent itself, we thought, John. Some tracks lent itself to this sort of car, but some tracks very clearly didn't. But that again is all part of mixing it up on a Thursday night, right?
Yeah, that's what these Thursday nights are about. Mixing it up. Don't do the A4 racing all the time that everybody does. It's about shifting it up a little bit. And as you said, the second track, Yellow, it's really a rallycross track, and we have these cars. They're not made for it at all. They're bumpy. They're braking in down hills and up hills. It was interesting to put it this way. But the rest of the tracks were very nice racing tracks for these cars, definitely.
Yeah, awesome. Well, fantastic. You're welcome to hang around in the channel just as we now bring the stream to a close. Speed, final thoughts on tonight's racing?
Really enjoyed it. It was fantastic to see that many people out for a mini league. It's Thursday night. It's later for people in Europe at the minute, and obviously it's just stroke of 11:30 for us at the minute. So it's extraordinary to see 25 people turn up for a mini league, and I thank every single one of them from RWB itself.
I think that's. I don't need to think. I don't think I need to say anything more than that. Absolutely right. Quite extraordinary. And that's testament to RWB, our guests, our members, and everyone else, and of course Audi, who is the long purveyor of and designer of this fantastic little mini league. So, if you're watching this and you want to come racing with us, you know what we say. Don't race alone, race RWB. Come along and race with us. Race clean, race fair, race for position. Respect other people and enjoy yourself. And the door's open. Don't dilly dally about. Come along. If you want to find out more about RWB International, you can go along to our website, rwbracing.club. You'll find all the information there, our Discord, and really what you need to do then is you need to install Discord. And if you haven't got Discord, you're not in. It's as simple as that. You need Discord. Click on the link. It'll automatically take you to us. And when you get into Discord, there'll be a welcome video. Watch that. Sit down with a cup of coffee for 8 minutes, and you'll be fairly well orientated after that. And anyone with an RWB tag will always help you or guide you or advise you with regards to races and events. Now, this Saturday is our F1 League. That's race round 4. And remind me, Speed, where are we this Saturday?
We are at not Sepang. I was going to say Sepang. We're not. We're at Shanghai.
Shanghai. Yeah, round 4 at Shanghai. We've had some, the races have been quite extraordinary, and you can have a look at our streams on how extraordinary they have been. You've either had some absolutely fantastic strategies in race 1, Rigel in race 3, Squid Flipper, or even half finishers. Down to 44% finishers, and that was just down to mechanical failures. So really, really interesting league, and absolutely thoroughly exciting for everyone that's involved in it, even us who talk about it in this sweaty, damp commentary box. It's absolutely really, really enjoyable. So So please join us for that. Also join us for our pod stroke vidcasts on our RWB members. They're being quite popular amongst RWB members, and of course us amongst other people from the sim racing community. We all know each other by name because we race with each other, but actually little do we know about actually who are these people in real life? Where do they come from? What did they eat for breakfast? And if you want to know that, then listen to the pod stroke vidcast. So that's going to bring us to the end of the stream. It's been great to have some time with you again, Speed, and watch the guys race out there. I get a little bit lonely sometimes on the old rally track. I think we need to get out there and show our wares at some point, don't we?
Yep, we always have to show support wherever.
Absolutely. So change of format for tonight, seeing us out. After obviously I give the tagline, we're going to play some music for you, and we're going to offer one of our members, RWB Jammer, James Singleton, and his two buddies from the US, Daniel Kurtz and Jacob Lopez. The three of them, just the epitome of what the modern music generation and the modern music world is like, and that is, collaboration. And across the sea, you don't have to be in the same country to sing with each other. And for me, they epitomise what RWB is all about, and that is racing without borders. And these guys sing without borders. They're known as Accents, and tonight's song is called Dumb Down. If you like it, then look at the link at the bottom of the YouTube video, which is a link along to James Singleton's YouTube page, and you'll be able to listen to some more songs. Please do that, because it's a fantastic song. So only leaves me to say he's been Speed.
He's been Tiger.
Thanks very much, everyone. Don't race alone, race RWB. And now we'll go out now with the Accents. Thanks very much. Bye-bye now.